Hi guys. I found a couple chairs over in the corner of my branch here, Bank of Montreal. This is where I deal with my inside banker. She's private wealth management. That's as high as I could go. I went up to Capital Wealth Management, but they're not bringing in new customers these days for money creation from credit instruments. MT103, you know that story. So just had to go back down one level to my bank official, who is ready, willing, and able for months now, seriously, to accept the transfer. And I'm not sure if it's going to come when the Federal Reserve Central Bank funnel is closed so that we can transfer another way, or if it's just going to be by a regular transmission, because our process isn't the same as the process of releasing the gold-backed USD, which is coming too, or USN, sorry, US note. So I had to find a new spot, because in our tower here, I'm in Bank of Montreal's tower, where they only occupy like 2 floors, but they put their name on the whole tower. It wouldn't let us sit anymore, so I found a new chair. And look at it, matches my neck warmer, just in case somebody comes around. Like a bandit. So I'm right across the street from the, over there somewhere is the Court of Queen's bench, managed by SNC Lavalin, remember? And right across the street here, they're renovating a very creative developer, okay? Remember the word developer all the time. Corporate developers, okay? One of those developers is renovating that old building, and it used to have a theater in the back and everything, but I think it's going to be pretty when they're done. Just constant upgrading downtown here, like towers being built everywhere. How's that? How's that work? You know, it's just a matter of walking around and questioning things most of the time. Like, you know, people still don't believe me because I brag about my $7 Value Village shirt, and I live in a Airbnb. I don't have any, you know, liquid or solid assets, which I don't want ever again. Even when the transfer comes, that's all going to be in a nonprofit NGO, Common Law Pure Trust. So I'm never going to own anything except this. And hopefully I don't have to wear this much longer. It's getting kind of warm. I got a purple bandana that I'm going to put on now because it's getting warm to walk around with this thing on. Put the bandana on my neck. So anyway, the idea that there's only like 100 and some viewers, if that, on my channel, because everybody goes to those ones. If you got 100,000, if you got like 50,000 views or something like that, oh my God, that guy must have it figured out. That guy must have it figured out, right? Or, you know, can go over to Anna Von Reitz. I support all of these kind of people if you want. If you just want to be a national, you can go to Anna Von Reitz and just be an American national. She's got a whole shitload of people coming there. If you want to be a sovereign, which includes all 3 jurisdictions, in the parte syntax language, which my partner Paul Simons has upgraded, and if you want to see some documentation to back this, you know, rather than just hear this go blah blah blah, if you want to see the paper, you know, oh my God, he is like a genius, that man, and he's supplied it all to us, and upgrading all the time too, adding to, never against. So I'm going to put a link down below, you know, not in the comments section. I'll try and figure out how to put it in the correct section. Under number monetary debt is illusion, you know, because I do that thing with the hashtag. I'll put it under there, a link to First Republic Registrar's new upgraded Common Law Pure Trust documents with the parte syntax language. If they want to play any games, we can just comply in a way, you know, add to what they've got. You know, the United Nations, the ICJ, ICG, CC. Ladies weren't sitting at their desk when I came in, like I snuck by them. Now they're wondering, what's he doing sitting over there? But they haven't come over yet. If they come over, I'll just go, okay, I'm waiting for my meeting. Doing a conference call. They're usually pretty good with that. You know, I don't treat people disrespectfully, but they're so focused on their little worlds that they can't think in a big picture. And I tend to only think that way. Sorry. Well, if you don't like it, you know, you can leave the channel too, and I could be down to 20 viewers. Oh gosh. Geopolitical, that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit. The geopolitical, monetary, because it's all connected, okay? That's all to do with the banking families. Geopolitical. What are you looking at, dude? People in a freaking mask giving me the eyeball. Stop that. Stop that. You silly guys. Walking around outside with a mask on, what's the matter with you? And your suits and ties. Is that insanity or what? Sanitizing? Insanity? How far does it go between sanity and insanitizing, or sanitizing and insanity? It's all the same word. But geo, right? Had to check in the etymology dictionary today if they had adjusted that, and they have. So geo means earth, right? Or kind of terra, or that land, that kind of thing. But they've already brought in the word global. Fucking idiots. I'm not going to swear anywhere near as much as I used to, because that's ranty, and Ida recognizes that, so I got to be careful. I love you, Ida, and thank you for not only being my therapist at the moment, psychology-wise, but my sex therapist as well. Oh, that goof with the mask, you couldn't even get in the door. Don't you read the signs? Like, you wear a suit and tie, but you can't read the signs. Sorry, it's okay. I'm not being judgmental, it's just like, how freaking crazy are humans? I don't care if you got a suit and tie on and you're a business banker. Like, you still can't read? And you're breathing in your own carbon dioxide, that's why you can't tug on the door to try and get in. You can't get in? Don't get it. So thank you, Ida, for being all of those things to me. And I'm really glad I was able to help you today. And I won't mention what it was, but it was a liver cleanse. She did it finally. And I recommend that for anybody. Do this gallstone and liver cleanse, okay? Like olive oil and grapefruit juice is all it is. Basically, you gotta clean out your intestine first with sometimes all Epsom salts, but magnesium works, or what I do is fast for 3-4 days every month on my moon cycle. These are all myths, right? But I'm just, adding it to the biology. So take that and then flush with the olive oil and grapefruit juice just before you go to bed, and wake up the next morning to a surprise. It's great. Anyway, back to the geopolitical for a moment, because that's the big picture. You got to pay attention to the whole thing, or you don't got to do anything. I'm just, suggesting you do. So geopolitical, they refer to that, or geomilitary. So all of, that means, all of the earth, not just America and Donald Trump and the banks at the lower levels. It's all one thing, right? Or it was, and it's all crumbling, that big picture thing that's crumbling. And we're not doing it, I'm not on the side of destruction. I'm not here to destroy it, but it's kind of pleasurable to watch it fall apart. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve System, central bank of America, was down for a while. They weren't able to transfer it. Well, usually they're the ones that block everything anyway and don't allow it to come through, so it didn't really hurt anything. And we're kind of thinking, that when it's down means that they aren't able to block things, right? So you get that? It's kind of ass backwards, but everything is. So when the central banks is in service, and the Federal Reserve, then they can block and divert funds all over the place. There's no peer-to-peer transactions. So when it's down, the potential of peer-to-peer transactions happening is actually better. Get it? It's all kind of backwards, but so geo meaning Earth, not a spinning ball. Like, you gotta look at the whole thing. Check out Mars. They landed there again. Like, they've been doing it ever since the 70s, dropping down little mobile remote control cars. But yet, we think we accomplished something spectacular again on the news. Check out Eric Dubé. I could link that as well. He did a little bit of a, update on the new Mars landing, the newest one, right? So all of that story about the globe spinning ball, that's all part of this. You got to keep it all in perspective, because it's all in perspective. It's all part of the big deception, right? The global geopolitical monetary structure. It's all one thing. And it's all failed, and they're scared as hell because the poor little buggers that work in the banks just want their jobs, including the lady I deal with, but she knows that once we start moving, transferring funds peer-to-peer, without that central bank freaking collusion and deception and blocking, that she's gonna have lots of stuff to do. So she's actually it's a she. She's actually quite anxious and happy, and when's it coming? She wants to see it too. Not only you guys, because it would probably make some of you into believers of this storyteller who, some people think is just fucking telling stories and has a big imagination. Well, you gotta have that too. Imagination, in my mind, God and love are all the same thing. See, imagination being as big as you can make it, and as broad a scoped as you can make it, including love, the alchemy of love, and including, whatever you believe God is. It's a beautiful process, but it's all about whole-brained, holistic thinking and then action. Like these guys that try to get out the door using their elbow and forget that they have to push the little thing because they don't want to touch anything, even though there's, huge increase in sanitizing these days. Come on, you guys, you know how insane this thing is, right? And you enjoy this, I know, but tell the story yourselves. Tell it how insane it is. Start your own YouTube channels. Laugh at this insanity. Like, it's just insanity, so have a good chuckle. Have a flaff. Peace, harmony, love, abundance, and freedom. Did you realize that meant flaff? Flaff? Have a flaff today. Okay, 13 minutes, that's enough. That's about all I have to say, other than patience and knowing, because people say, how come you're so patient? Well, it's because I know it's happening. Just forget about the thinking and wishing and all that stuff. Have faith in yourself, faith in what your story is, and just know it. So I know that it's happening. That's why we continue to deal with delay after delay after delay, while it synchronizes with Mother Nature, the spring coming, the February, March, matriarchal March that we're approaching, all of those things. You have to synchronize with everything. Add to everything. Don't destroy anything that's in your reality. Just accept it all and put it into your itstry. Your itstry. Your history or shistry. Itstry. And then just add to it. Every day as you wake up to a new life, because it's a new life every day. That's where reincarnation comes in. I've been at this for almost 22,000 lives already. Can you imagine? 22. And sometimes I have a nap in the day, so I could be approaching like 33,000 lives already, I'm thinking. Because every time you wake up from sleeping, it's a new life. And you just either remember what you knew from yesterday, or if you had a nap, couple hours ago or an hour ago, whatever your length of your nap was, and then you go again. So you add to what you remember. You know, if you remember that that's a tree, great. You know, your brain has lots of storage capacity for memory. So, you know, lots of things to choose from to remember from the day before. Like, oh yeah, I remember that Donald Trump was running under the corporate flag. That's why he really can't just come back in and be installed as a president, because otherwise you're just back to that, cycling back to that karmic, you know, gong show of the corporation, right? See all this stuff, like I'm trying to be very calm because Ida likes that, and you know, whether that's psychology or sex therapy, she says, you know, still remember to remain calm in both jurisdictions, right? That's pretty hard, you know, to get that all sorted out. But I'm dealing with it pretty well, I think, to be honest. The calmness. What do you think? Like, do you like it better calm, or would you rather hear me rant and swear? I'm not going to do that anymore. You know, unless I drop the odd one, but ranting and raving and swearing at the dildobergs and the geopolitical idiots that are like fading away into the sunset. Just let them fade away. You don't have to swear anymore. It's okay. But I don't regret it either, because it was kind of fun. And we all have those fun moments. If we can't enjoy ourselves, what the hell good are we? You guys, ladies, you could keep it down over there. I'm trying to have a meeting over there. She doesn't want to look at me now. Women. Anyway, I have a very feminine side too, you know that, and I'm just kind of kidding around when I say women. With peace, harmony, love, abundance, and freedom for everyone and everything every day on my mind. Abundance, sovereignty, health, love, and euphoria. That one is abundance, sovereignty, health, you know, ash, rising from the ash. Flaff is peace, harmony, love, abundance, and freedom. So I, you know, kind of play with those things too. But that's that holistic idea of bringing in creation. So again, I'll finish it off with more abundance, sovereignty, health, love, and euphoria. Have fun. I love you guys. Signing off from downtown Calgary, Bank of Montreal, inside the retail branch. But I think my officer is actually just up one floor now. Cheers.